Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blame It on the Stars, where we give you an inside look to what's going on in the universe so you can blame your problems on the stars. It is Jade here.
And it's Kara.
And this week, we'll be talking all about Mercury entering Pisces as well as the full moon in Virgo. But in case you missed it, last week Pisces season began. So if you want to know more about what you can expect during Pisces season, then definitely listen to last week's episode before diving into this one.
And just to give you a heads up, next week we have another episode coming out for our planetary returns series. This one is highly requested. It is all about your Saturn return and how it affects you.
And with that being said, let's dive into the episode. So the first thing that happens this week is Mercury entering Pisces. This happens on February 23rd at 2:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That could mean February 22nd if you're on a different coast. And per usual, the date and time are from the website astroseek.com. What you need to know. Pisces is a water sign that is very much associated with our intuition and our creativity. When Mercury, the planet of communication, enters Pisces, we shift our thinking to be a little bit more intuitive. Our sensitivity is a little bit higher than usual, but at the same time, our imagination becomes more vivid and our creativity is heightened as well.
How this affects you is your thinking and communication is going to become more empathetic, compassionate, and more attuned to other people's emotions. You might find that there's more of a tendency to express your ideas and to be very open about the things that are going on in your life. You also might find that you're more receptive to other people's feelings and their needs during this time.
So why this matters, while Mercury in Pisces definitely can enhance our creativity and our intuition, we might also experience some misunderstandings or miscommunication just due to the sometimes foggy energy that comes with Pisces, and that's due to Pisces being ruled by Neptune in modern astrology. But there's a little bit more to that.
Something you might not know is that Mercury is in detriment when it's in the sign of Pisces. This means that it's not able to fully express itself in the way that it normally likes to. So while Mercury is in Pisces, you might find that there's less of a concern about the details and being very precise. There also could be some challenges when it comes to communicating or expressing your ideas. You might be more drawn to express things more abstractly, which can be confusing as opposed to being very direct and straightforward in the way that you're expressing yourself.
If you're wondering how long this transit lasts, Mercury will enter Aries on March 9th at 11:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you do have between February 23rd and March 9th to experience Mercury in Pisces.
Certain signs are affected more by this transit than others. The signs that are most affected are Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius placements. By placements, we mean Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, or Mars placements only.
And there are some key dates you're going to want to pay attention to while Mercury is in Pisces. The first one is on February 28th. Mercury will be conjunct Saturn. This aspect can definitely bring a little bit more of a focused or disciplined mindset. It's definitely a good day to pay attention to detail, to do any long-term planning. But when it comes to how we're speaking with others, you might notice that the conversation leans a little bit more serious and that we're talking about very practical subject matter and thinking in a very logical manner too.
And then on February 29th, Mercury will be sextile Jupiter. This is a very positive energy that's bringing about really good communication. You might feel more optimistic and open to new ideas. This is a good time to learn, share ideas, and have conversations with others. If you are someone who enjoys reading, this could be a good day to open up a new book or jump back into a book that maybe you didn't finish yet. Because Mercury's in Pisces, you might be drawn to more fantasy or fiction novels on this day.
And then on March 4th, Mercury will sextile Uranus. This is definitely a really good day for brainstorming, coming up with new ideas and new solutions to any potential challenges you might be encountering. Overall, just expect to be very open-minded on this day and to be thinking a little bit more out of the box.
And then on March 8th, Mercury will be conjunct Neptune. This is going to bring a dreamy and imaginative energy to the way that we are thinking and communicating. It will enhance our creativity and intuition. So this can be a good day to express yourself through art or any other form of expression. However, it's really important that you keep in mind that this energy can be a little bit confusing and there can be misunderstandings. So do your best to clearly communicate and be mindful as you are making any decisions on this day.
So the next thing that happens during this week is the full moon in Virgo. This happens on Saturday, February 24th at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bright and early. What you need to know. Virgo is known for being very detail-oriented, very meticulous, very good at getting things done well. So during the full moon in Virgo, there might be a little bit more of a focus on being precise in the work that you're doing, organizing your life, and also paying attention to the little details in all different aspects of your life.
How this affects you is you're going to be more analytical and self-reflective because full moons are about letting go. You will be letting go of and setting intentions around Virgo related themes. Because Virgo energy is very critical, there is a tendency to be focused on fixing things, making things better, or just having a tendency to be a perfectionist. So during the full moon, this could be a time to let go of that and to appreciate where you are at right now instead of being overly critical of yourself or others.
So why this matters? While Virgo's attention to detail is definitely a positive, there can be, as Kara mentioned, a tendency towards perfectionism. So this full moon is definitely going to encourage you to find balance between doing something really well, but also making sure that you're not setting the bar too high for yourself, that it's unattainable.
Something you might not know is that Virgo is also related to our health and well-being. So during this full moon, you might be more focused on anything related to your physical health, self-care, or even letting go of old routines or habits that are no longer serving you. This is a good time to reflect on those things and to make any adjustments.
Certain signs will be affected more than others during this full moon, and that's going to be Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, and Sagittarius. And per usual, those are personal placements: Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, and or Mars. Now, there are some aspects to this full moon that make it a little bit more interesting. The first is that the sun is conjunct Mercury while the moon is opposite Mercury on this day. On one end, you might be thinking very clearly, but on the other end, our emotions might get a little bit in the way of our ability to express what we think so clearly. So it's definitely going to be very important that you pay attention to your thoughts versus emotions during the full moon.
There also will be aspects to Jupiter at the time of the full moon. The sun will be sextile Jupiter and the moon will be trine Jupiter. These aspects are bringing about harmony between who we are and our emotions. This will bring about some optimism and growth as we are letting go and reflecting during the full moon. It also is helping to balance out some of the other energies and bring us a sense of optimism and ease as we are letting go.
And then lastly, the sun will be conjunct Saturn while the moon will be opposite Saturn. This can definitely add a more serious tone to this full moon. With the sun conjunct Saturn, you're definitely feeling responsible and more committed to any of your long-term goals or projects, and you're holding yourself accountable for making sure you're getting things done. However, with the moon opposite Saturn, you might feel as though it's hard to want to express your emotional self as you're working on these things and being very practical and methodical. So it's going to be really important that while you are working hard, you're also creating space for your emotional side to be present and to be heard. And that is it for this week's episode. If you want to know more about how these transits affect you on a more personal level, then we encourage you to book a reading. The link to do so will be in the description.
And if you've never booked a reading with us before, then you can use the code STARS, all caps, STARS, for $20 off your first reading.
And just a reminder, next week, we're going to be talking all about Saturn returns. So you're definitely going to want to stick around for that episode. But until then, if you want to stay in the loop with us, make sure you're following us on Instagram at BLME The Stars. And we're also on YouTube too. That is all for now, and we'll see you all next Monday. Bye.